welcome to one and all present here. Once again, welcoming you all to this workshop. Let's move on to the inaugural session of the workshop on the role of nano-nutraceuticals in tissue regeneration, organized by the Department of Zoology, University of Kerala, Advanced Center for Regenerative Medicine and Stem Cell Research in Cutaneous Biology, in association with Department of Nanoscience and Nanotechnology and Central Laboratory for Instrumentation and Facilitation, University of Kerala. Let's start the session with a prayer song. Let me invite Bhagya Lakshmi and Ansari for the prayer song. Let me invite Professor and Head Department of Zoology, Dr. G. Prasad, to welcome the gathering. Sir, please.
So, respected Professor Dr. G.M. Nair, Director CLIF, Professor Hubert Joe, Professor and Head Department of Nanoscience and Nanotechnology, K.G. Gopchandran, Professor as well as our member of the Syndicate of the University of Kerala, Dr. Sajith, Assistant Professor in the Department of Zoology as well as the Co-Ordinator of this program. Dear participants and my dear students, this is the second GIAN program conducted in the Department of Zoology. And as you know very well, this is actually, it is a workshop for giving hands-on training to some of the methodologies. So we have conducted one in the fluorescent microscopy, and that tutorial will be available all over the world at any time for any candidate for downloading and studying this particular program. So like that, this has been also arranged in such a way that all the talks and all the other practical sessions will be available in the international audience at any time to get their knowledge in this particular area of the importance of nutraceuticals in the treatment of tissue engineering as well as regeneration process. So I am very happy that Dr. Sajith is taking such a pain for organizing such an important event. And he has invited Dr. Mohan Yallappu. He is the assistant professor in the Texas University. So he is the man behind for this talk as well as for the conduct of the workshop, I think. So with a great pleasure, I invite our chief guest and the center of this particular GIAN program, Professor Yallappu, with all my gratitude as well as to my thanks. Sir, actually, our university is actually recently ranked as A++ in the state of Kerala, and we are the first university and only one university in the state actually with A++ and the NAC accreditation. So we are very happy that such an international personality is there with us for sharing your knowledge with all the participants as well as my students and faculty. So I very humbly welcome you to this particular department, my department, and to deliberate your knowledge in this particular area to be given to my own students as well as to the participants. So I am very happily I invite you. So with us, our syndicate member, Professor Gopchandran sir is here. So he is instrumental for many developments that is recently happened in our campus, in the Karivattam campus as well as in the university. So I welcome Gopchandran sir to this particular event. I invite one of our very senior professor in this campus and as well as the director of the Central Laboratory for Instrumentation and Facilitation. That is actually a vision that has been formed by our university for some 5 years back, and that has been fruitful and that is successfully running today with around 30 crores of instruments, highly equipped, high precision equipments are housed in that particular laboratory, and that is we are giving the service to not only our own scholars, but any scholar from India, and if it is, I think he is ready to give any scholar from outside India also, we are ready to serve. So such a very art of the state laboratory that is present. Maybe such a one is present in IIT, I don't know in India. Maybe in any of the other academic institutions, such a laboratory is not present right now. Maybe it will be coming. And we are already adding many of the high-end equipments like HRTM and all these things. So I invite you, sir, I welcome you, sir, to this particular event. And that laboratory also is a organizer of this particular program. So I am happy in that also. So with us, the Professor Hubert Joy is there. So he is the professor and head of the Department of Nanoscience and Nanotechnology. Sir, I invite you to this particular workshop. I welcome all the participants, those who are maybe from this state as well as from outside. And maybe many of the international participants may be in the online workshop. There are online talks also, many are there in the online mode. And I welcome you to our department as well as to the university and to attend this program. And maybe I feel that this 5-day program that will enrich you with the very good knowledge regarding this regeneration technology in the tissue engineering as well as in the tissue repair process. And I welcome all the other my students and all the participants from the scholars and all these things from our campus as well as from the department. So this time I congratulate once again Dr. Sajith for taking that pain for organizing these type of events in our department. And I am very happy that we have got such a faculty member that is in the department for making international things very often. So I am very happy in that. And I assure that the participants will be getting all the benefits, whatever they have registered at that time, what is in their mind. So maybe that will be successfully, that will be getting to you, and you will be following that one in your, or useful in your research that will be in your future other opportunities also. So thank you all. Thank you.
Now I invite Professor Dr. K.G. Gopchandran, Syndicate Member, University of Kerala, for the inaugural address.
Head of the Department of Zoology, most respected Murali, Mohan, Yallappu, the professor of University of Texas. He is going to conduct this GIAN program in this department. Professor G.M. Nair sir, the director of CLIF. Professor Hubert Joe, head of the Department of Nanoscience and Nanotechnology, and Dr. Sajith, he is this course coordinator. First of all, I would like to congratulate the Department of Zoology for conducting the second GIAN program. I think first time in the first program also, I got an opportunity to attend it. And this time the topic is a role of nano-nutraceuticals in tissue generation. We started hearing about this nano technology and nanoscience from the last decade of 20th century. And today you have a very experienced professor who is in the University of Texas for a period of almost 18 years, Dr. Murali Mohan Yallappu, for giving deliberations on this topic. And I think we are conducting this seminar at a right occasion because now we have all necessary equipments in the campus for conducting research in this area. The only equipment that in short is the high resolution transmission electron microscope, and we hope that we will get that instrument within another 6 months. And when we talk about the nano materials, the problem is we have to manipulate things at the atomic and molecular level. So that way the microscopy is very important, because we cannot handle these materials with the naked eye. That may be the reason for awarding the Nobel Prize in 2014 for super resolution microscopy. And it is a wonderful world, the nanoscience. Especially this is a topic I am taking for MTech students. So it is a very familiar subject for me, and I am doing research also only in this, mainly only in this area, especially on the development of surface enhanced Raman substrates. I am focusing on the inorganic, especially the gold and silver based nanomaterials, and I was just talking about, but here we have compartments. So we used to conduct research in all departments, but interdisciplinary research is less. But nowadays we are trying to do it. I was just discussing with him about the possibility of using these materials also for nano-nutraceutical applications. But he was telling the positive and negative of these materials, and I think most of the participants are very young participants. You can very well conduct researches in this area, and always think for finding something new in these materials and something new for applications. You know, the Nobel Prize in 2010 was awarded for the discovery of graphene. When we read about the discovery of graphene, we can see that anybody can discover it, but it is actually most unfortunate that we haven't discovered it, because we believed that it is unstable and nobody tried. With just a scotch tape, they discovered the graphene. They separated the graphene layers from the graphite that we use for writing in the slate, etc. All of you know the graphite. So that way it is a very interesting area. You can have a number of things, especially now robotics technology, sensors are developing. So in the areas of sensors also, I think these nanomaterials can make very good contributions now. In that area also, I am doing something. But the thing which I would like to tell the young students is that the master students and the doctoral students is that you can discover many new things. I got an opportunity to talk with Dr. Ijima, who discovered the carbon nanotubes when he came to Cochin in the 2006. And they were distributing the dinner table by taking a lot. And I got a seat very adjacent to Dr. Ijima. And I just, it was very difficult for me to communicate with him. But I just asked him, what was your feelings after the discovery of this carbon nanotube? He was telling me that you must have a mind for searching new things. And I have used the same thing as title of my many general lectures in this campus itself. So you must have a mind for searching new things. Whenever you take a measurement or a graph or a photograph, what you have to do is you have to spend a lot of time on that particular photograph or graph itself. Instead of running to the next table or next instrument or a new technique, you just spend a considerable time on that particular data itself, definitely you will have something, because the science can tell only truth. Never try to manipulate the science. The science is honest. It will tell only truth. So if you look at that graph again and again, it will start speaking to you. With these words, I am very happy. Once again, I would like to tell one thing. We have a very young, dynamic faculty member in the campus now. That is Dr. Sajith Parameshwara Panikar. He is conducting a variety of programs. In addition to that, if the university in need of some kind of manpower also, he will immediately reach there and he will do whatever possible with him. He will do that. Whether it is photography or whether it is, last day he was just taking food and supplying food at the time of the farewell of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Mahadevamala sir. So that way, I am sure that there we have a very young, dynamic Dr. Sajith to make this department famous again. Because earlier, we had a galaxy of eminent professors in this campus. If you start from Dr. Prasad, Dr. Subhash Peter, etc., earlier, many, because I came here as a student in the year 1988 to this campus. So I got the opportunity to see them. Actually, I still remember that first time I was understanding what is botany at the time of the valedictory address given by Dr. Nair in the physics auditorium. And he actually called me to operate the slide projector at that time. But a 2-hour lecture he was giving in the auditorium. So it was actually very different. So in this department will have again a good future, and I wish all the success for the department and the faculty members, and I declare this workshop as opened.
We should light the lamp and inaugurate this workshop.
It's indeed a moment of plenitude when eminent personalities make time to address gatherings and reflect on an array of things, whilst inspiring many and capturing the imagination of the world at large. We are honored to have shared this platform with every one of you. We would like to present Dr. G.M. Nair, Dr. Murali Mohan Yallappu, Professor Dr. K.G. Gopchandran, Professor Dr. I. Hubert Joe, with a memento as a token of our gratitude and affection. So I would like to present with the memento as a token of our gratitude and affection to Professor Dr. K.G. Gopchandran. I request Dr. Murali Mohan Yallappu, sir, to present the memento to Dr. K.G. Gopchandran.
let me invite Dr. Murali Mohan Yallappu, Associate Professor, University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, USA, for giving an overview about GIAN course. Sir, please.
Using nanotechnology and applying in nutraceutical research. And in fact, all my publications, if you see, which were highly cited, those are all top 4 or 5. All of them are on cancer and curcumin and nanoparticles. It was fortunate that, I never thought of using curcumin as a molecule. So whenever I call my sister who lives in Singapore, she says, you're working on curcumin. Everybody knows about it. Why you want to use it? Okay? And everybody knows that we have been using curcumin or many other natural agents as a preventive molecules, and we use in our daily, in the food or in the drinks or in any other forms. So my sister asked me, when I told her I got my first career development award on curcumin formulation with the magnetic nanoparticles, you all might have seen that. That was my first patent that we got, okay? And I told her, we got this patent and we received a big NIH award. She said, why they are giving it to you? They're putting their money, it's, so what you want to do more research with it? Because everybody thinks that, because we use that and we don't value that we use in our daily life, okay? Still, if I go to grocery store in the United States, there is a big aisle only for all the curcumin or any other natural molecules, and the price is way high. Okay, if you go and get any pill for the headache, okay, any pill for routine drug agents, those are less in price. Okay, but we think curcumin is very less in price. But if you go to United States, if you visit those aisles, the price is way high. We get a bottle of close to 1 liter bottle that is formulated mostly with the liposomal curcumin. It put some citric flavor, okay, so that it doesn't taste very bitter or something. So they put citrus. So they sell for $50. Okay, so but what we do, because we know that curcumin dissolves in milk. Okay, milk is nothing but it already constitutes with the many lipids, other proteins. Okay, that may help solubilize your curcumin, right? That's very simple. That we have been following, but we don't know what science behind it. Okay, unless somebody tells us. Okay, so without putting more emphasis on the science, but I want to thank everyone again and welcome all of you. And I believe that whatever I learn, and I can disperse that expertise, experience. I train all of you in at least few aspects of how to make formulations, and to bring you all some more ideas, and you can think further how you can apply or implement these nano methodologies in your current research or even in the future. And I know that Dr. Sajith would be a good resource person for all of you now and in the future to give you more broader views of various aspects of not only nanotechnology but various other new fields. I see when I visited his room, so he has a bigger vision. Okay, see, he wanted to put some other center with the 3D printing technology. Okay, we still think that we wanted to put 3D technology, but the thing is, one man cannot run so many things. But I believe Srijit can do this, because you have more support from the state and central and also locally, but we don't get that kind of support. Okay, so what we do, we struggle to get our own salary. Okay, here it's not that way, right? So here you get your government salary. You come here as a young man, you go out with the gray hair, right? So you will be retired from here and then with all good things, and then you can remember what you have done for your university and what you have implemented. And you see that, okay, how Indian institution can support student, faculty, staff, and everyone around university, how we can grow together, not only in the scientific area, but also collaborate each other and then be successful. So I congratulate and thank you everyone for presenting here, and I hope we'll do a great 5 days workshop here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, let me invite Professor Dr. G.M. Nair, Director, CLIF, University of Kerala, to deliver the presidential address. Sir, please.
Respected Professor G. Prasad, Head Department of Zoology, Dr. Murali, Mohan, Professor K.G. Gopchandran, Dr. Hubert Joe, Sajith, Dr. Sajith, my dear participants, Suja, sorry, long back, Suja from Tropical Botanic Garden and Research Institute, the students of this department, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to be here this afternoon, especially any program conducted by Dr. Sajith is irresistible. For anything that he would insist, you should be there. He wanted me to be the president of this. He wanted to be the person to inaugurate this. But I said that no, I like this special address because maybe to say a few things before I wind up. Thank you, Sajith, for organizing many programs in the university. As is being said by Professor Gopchandran and many others, that he is a person who is very active in the university. Not only he is a good organizer, but also that he mobilizes a lot of funds to the university. Recently, he has brought in about 4.5 crores to the university, the biggest amount that has come to the university by a single person. Congratulations, Sajith, for that. And also that he is a close associate in Kerala Academy of Sciences. We work together over there, and this organization is promoting science and scientific timber among the students and people within the state of Kerala. Again, there also is a great organizer. Many places he organizes a program includes either Central Laboratory for Instrumentation Facilitation or Kerala Academy of Sciences as one of the co-organizers. So I also get a lot of platforms to speak as well as to share the dais with him. So particularly, let me congratulate Sajith for also organizing this GIAN program in this university. He conducts a program every year consistently for the past 6-7 years on regenerative medicine, tissue engineering, omics, so many things together, blended, bringing in a lot many people from all over the country and abroad to speak to the audience. So I'm sure that we haven't many people in the university like him, and I'm sure that we hope to have great accolades being brought to the university through his, this young man, totally unassuming, but has got great potential, like what Dr. Murali has already said, that he has great potential as a researcher, as an organizer, as a leader, whatnot, for everything that Dr. Sajith has said. I'm also sure that this program going to be there for a few days will be great an event, especially to the participants would definitely benefit from the great lectures which are going to be delivered here. Now, I represent the Central Laboratory for Instrumentation and Facilitation. As is being said, we have about 25 high-end equipments managed by qualified technicians and maintained. All of them are working. The advantage of this is that this center is that, as is being said, there is one unique center, not only in the Kerala University, in Kerala, but also in many of the state universities in the country. The visionary university has started this. The instruments being housed in different departments, accessibility would be very poor because it would be either managed by a faculty or a student. So to others to access it, it becomes extremely difficult. But then when you have a central facility, it is open to you all, not only for the people of Kerala University, but also from different affiliated colleges, institutions, and we also cater to the needs of many people from different parts of the country. We are also getting another 20 equipments through a KIFBI fund worth about 45 crores. Will be bought, the procedures are on. Within about 6-7 months, I'm sure that all these instruments will be in place. And the major being the HR term, high resolution transmission electron microscope, which is about 24 crores a single instrument. So with that addition of transmission electron microscope, 300 kilovolts. We have a scanning electron microscope. We have a scanning confocal microscope. You have an atomic force microscope. You're also getting a scanning tunneling microscope, so that the microscopy sector from the very basic to that of the high-end analysis would be available in CLIF in the course of time. We also have proposed a major program to the Department of Science and Technology, again about 15 to 20 equipments worth about 60 crores. I'm confident that looking at the strength of CLIF, that we are definitely going to get that assistance also. So with that, I'm sure that is going to be the best center in the country. All modern concepts, and unlike the other outsourcing centers, that every stakeholder is allowed to sit with the instrument, with the technician, and learn, get a hands-on training when their samples are analyzed. I don't think when you go for outsourcing something, you would get a facility this way. The theme of this GIAN program is nutraceuticals and nanotechnology. As you all know, that nutraceutical is not a new concept. Even in Ayurveda, many of the things that you consume is nutraceuticals. As Hippocrates has said, you know, that the father of medicine, even medical students, when they complete their course, they take Hippocratic oath. You know, that oath is being still continued, and understand the importance of, he said, let thy food be thy medicine and thy medicine be thy food. That means anything that you eat as food should be your medicine too, not junk. that these days, you know, that's why, since because you have reverted to the junk food culture and food of that kind of sort which damages the body, that we have not many lifestyle diseases, that diabetics, heart diseases, cancer, all these are mainly because of the food that we consume. But what is important is that you need to have an understanding. Functional foods, the foods that we eat should have. There are several functional foods available. There are several nutraceuticals available. Many of them are natural ones. You don't have to. But you can also complement your food with pharmaceutical compounds or nutritional compounds. So that would be additives being given to the food. But whatever it is, that, you know, many of those traditional ones, you know, as you know that many of your Malayalis, you know, the parankanyi that you eat, the fermented rice gruel that you eat also is said to be, once it is fermented, it has got lot much additive values, and that also is a functional food. Maybe that It is an age-old custom that whatever is being left over in the evening, they to put it in water, add some, that small kandari and some salt and some curd, and keep it, allow it for fermentation, and the next morning you consume it. The kind of nutrients that you have through that is something great. So also the red rice that you have, it's again a natural one. The oats that you eat, it has a lot of fibers. All these are natural ones. But then you add something. See, for example, you make a bread. You add a lot of nutritive compounds or medicinal compounds into it. And if they can be consumed and if that taste is good, I'm sure that you have an additive nutraceutical available to you. So you add certain things into your food, but then what is important is that, as is being said in the brochure, that bioavailability. How much of it is assumed by the body, consumed by the body, taken up by the body. That's very important, because many of those things may not be taken up, but it goes out, without much of being absorbed. So a good nutritional compound, a nutritional food, a functional food that goes into the body, not only that it should have medicinal value, it should have nutritional value, but also it should be absorbed by the body. Now, in that case, the modern concept of the nano system comes in. It's talk of the day. We speak many things in nanotechnology. Nano drug delivery, targeted drug delivery, or maybe that if there's the kind of radiation source, you can put heavy metal, some kind of metals into the body, and so that when you give the radiation will be concentrated onto the tumor or the places you want to. You also know that when you take up when you detect cancer at the later stage, and if there are cancers deep within the body, you go for chemotherapy. Chemotherapy is where you take chemical drugs into your body, they are not targeted. So most of the times when you consume it, not only that they would kill the cancerous cells, but also it would damage a lot of the live cells which are needed. So in that case, if you can convert them into targeted ones, targeted drug therapy is something which people are looking forward, so that it would be targeted to the place where you want to deliver. It would be as specific to a particular cancer. So maybe that you have a cancer drug, which will go into the cancer cells without affecting the body. So you will have specific, maybe ligands onto the receptors on the cancer cells, which are very specific for different kinds of cancers. And if you can, target your nanoparticle, which contains drug, could be that it could imbibe, or maybe that you incorporate drug into the nanoparticle, or maybe that they will adhere to the nanoparticle, but in both ways, that if it is being delivered, it goes into that. Don't you think that that's going to revolutionize the treatment regimes that we have? So maybe that we need to have that kind of things, because a drug which will not affect your body. You know that in the world, the maximum the death is because of drug allergy. You know that? Not any other disease, it's a drug allergy. Now what you do is that when you take a medicine, it is one size fit for all. You take a medicine, it is given to all the people. There is no specificity for any drug attributed to you, except that the doctor would say, depending on your weight and the kind of stature, they would say that this much milligram, 500 milligram, 250 milligram, that kind. Apart from that, the antibiotic that goes into your body, or maybe any other kind of drug that you take, it's all not designed for you. So maybe that in that case, a personalized meeting, a designer drug would be the solution. But now what we have is that we have a powerful nanotechnology. We have a nanotechnology department with us. And all these are available here. And once we have this concept, binding of, that biotechnology got wedded with information technology, the kind of change that it has made in understanding, especially as you know that the genomics that we talk, the progress in genomics is mainly because that we have taken help from computer science, information technology, and made it into bioinformatics. Technology, when it is blended, not only with the drug, but also with the nutraceuticals, that whatever you consume, You don't have to overeat, So you can have specific quantities of the food to be eaten, but that food will be of slow release sometimes, See, it releases. There are several drugs available, 24-hour acting drugs, There are slowly released. So you may have some substance which would release the drug in that, or you could use even nanoparticles to release the drug or the nutraceuticals in a specific intervals of time. All these are available, and I'm sure that youngsters sitting in front of me would realize the potential of this, and you should shape up. It's not that just you do a routine kind of research. Do some dynamic research. Go in for looking at areas where you can contribute your strength, and with all these new technologies that are being developed. So if you go in for making, maybe understand, when all those nanoparticles, especially when you speak of the metallic nanoparticles, would also do damage to the body. You should look. I was talking to Dr. Murali a few moments ago, that when you take something like silver nanoparticle or gold nanoparticles, probably that would be pumped out through your renal system, or maybe that your liver has got capacity to eliminate them if the particle size is very small. But imagine that if the particle size is big, the nanoparticle size is comparatively big, and if it's not flushed out from your body, a situation will come when then your nanoparticles are going to do much damage than the drug that is being delivered. So it is very important that you need to have a quality, determined research to go into this, understand the potentiality of this, any field that you take. As I was told Dr. Murali, has changed his field several times, to fit into what he's doing now. I said there is no wonder in that, because Venki Ramakrishnan, a physicist, turned into a chemist to a biologist, and he got the Nobel Prize. So maybe that if you have versatilities these days, a plant scientist will not be doing on plants. He can do any subject. So interdisciplinary, interactive science with all kinds of concepts that you bring in, because hypothesis is very important. How do you build a hypothesis? How do you use the right machinery, right experimentation, right instrumentation to get the inferences is very important. And once you do that, not only that you can create wonders, you can also have very, very good publications in high impact journals. That's very important. Or also you can go in for making patents which would be of great help to you, to the country, because you know that patents are the one which can be shaped into products, industrial setup, startups, or all this can be shaped up through patents. So because it's just it's not necessary to go for patent, but then you need to come out with something which can go as a product to the society, as scientific social responsibility. Now, not only that you just go for publishing purpose, but also that all this money that you spent on research, using the public funding, that it should also go to the society in some way. A product development is something which can go in. If you go in for targeting your drug with nano, or maybe your nutraceutical with nano, I'm sure that this is going to create wonders and transform the entire setup of treatment regimes in the country, in the world. You would be able to make your mark in that kind of activities, provided you determine yourself to do that. Don't compromise on things. We have CLIF with you. Several instruments are being added. We have a lot of expertise available. Blend them together, and I'm sure that there's nothing which is impossible. Everything can be made possible these days, unlike me doing research some 40, 45 years back. There was compromise research because there was nothing facilities available. Now everything is at your doorstep. You have enough of fundings available. You have expertise available. All new gadgets and things available. I'm sure that your research can be reshaped into something not only for making good impact publications, but also that it can reach the society. I'm sure that from this GIAN course, where you are going to listen to many people, you would be benefited to know newer areas. And then now, if you are researchers, even if you are midway in your research career, no problem. You can shape up your career and redefine your research so that it would lead to something which would reach the society. I wish you all very well for making science reachable to the society through your efforts, and be determined, be hardworking, and be persuasive to take up research in the best possible way. Wish you all the best, and once again, I thank Dr. Sajith and Dr. Prasad for having invited me to be with you to speak a few words. Thank you very much and wish you all the best.
Let me invite Dr. I. Hubert Job, Head, Department of Nanoscience and Nanotechnology, University of Kerala, to felicitate the gathering.
Good afternoon. Professor G. Prasad, Head Department of Zoology. Professor G.M. Nair, Director CLIF, University of Kerala. Dr. Murali Mohan, Professor, Texas University. Dr. Sajith Parmeshwar Panikar. See, today nanotechnology is an inevitable one. Nanotechnology development is developing a material with nano. Even though it's from ancient times, when painting they are saying that it's nano. But nowadays, they just identified it is a potential one in all field, not only in this medical field, in all food, everything. Because I am using nanomaterial in the year 1995, developing a material, gold. There are two methods, no? One is Lee-Meisel method, the other one is Creighton method. We used to prepare the silver particles. See, one is silver nitrate with sodium borohydrate, the other one is silver nitrate with reduction of sodium borohydrate, the other with silver nitrate with sodium citrate. See, while we preparing these nanoparticles, see, you just go through the paper, you can see, you must take this much of this silver nitrate, you must take this much of this sodium borohydrate. While you prepare this material, you will not get the nanoparticles. So once you prepare, it is very difficult. You can just take trial and trial. By trial only, you can able to get the particle size. Once you immediately prepare, you have to take immediately a UV spectrum, whether the particle is nano or not. So as Professor G.M. Nair told, the instrument is very, very important. Once you prepare the nanomaterial, whether the material is nano size or you got the same type material that you require the machine, that is instrumentation, that is spectroscopy instrument is more required. That is on a clear mesh, give the correct size, and for that you need an immediate spectroscope, the instrument is required. Now, see, I told you, see, when you just whatever you think, you just go through the paper, they will not give you anything clearly, perfectly correct. One of my, say, research scholar, Mr. Alif, has just started this nanoparticle, that is iron particle. They have just tried so many times, but just bring that result that the particle size is high. See, by trying, by changing different methods, adopting different techniques, I finally got it. Now, why I am telling like that is, see, hands-on training is very, very important. See, while you prepare the things, there are some minute things. So that is an essential thing to prepare nanoparticles. So it is very difficult to prepare a nanoparticle. That is, the particle size is also very, very important. If you just prepare something, the particle size may higher. Then the size, the shape is also important. Sometimes spherical shape is good. So that depends on your, say, technique or the you are needed. The shape is also development. So that depends on the shape and size. So they have to optimize the things. So while the hands on training is very, very important. So here the professor, say Dr. Sajith, brought this in. The great, say, scientist from Texas to bring here to do some help to do the hands on training to the younger scientists. So make use of this training. So don't waste your time. So please do the things carefully, learn the things, so that will be useful for our research. So I wish all success for this program. I wish the Professor Dr. Sajith for arranging such a nice program and inviting me for this talk. Thank you so much.
We are honored to have shared this platform with every one of you. We would like to present Professor Dr. G.M. Nair, Dr. Murali Mohan Yallappu, Professor Dr. I. Hubert Joe with a memento as a token of our gratitude and affection. I request Professor Dr. G. Prasad to present the memento. Now I request Professor Dr. G.M. Nair to present the memento for Dr. I. Hubert Joe. Now I request Professor Dr. G. Prasad sir to present the memento for Dr. G.M. Nair. Dr. Murali Mohan Yallappu sir to present the memento for Dr. G. Prasad sir.
Now let me invite Assistant Professor, Department of Zoology and GIAN Course Coordinator, Dr. Sajith P. to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon. I don't want to take much time because I already delayed around 1 hour, and that's why I'm very briefly initiating the vote of thanks. And first of Honorable Director of CLIF, Professor Dr. G.M. Nair sir, Dr. Murali, Dr. Hubert Joe, and our Head of the Department, Professor Dr. G. Prasad, my students, the delegates from different places, and my PhD students and MSc students. And we already discussed this is a second GIAN program, and this is the program actually muted around 5 years back, and we actually jointly conducted a program in Dehradun, that is INCD conference, and that time we actually discussed about Murali and me, and we can actually jointly organize some program like collaboration and conduct the program. And that time Dr. Subhash Chauhan, Professor Dr. Subhash Chauhan also there. And fortunately, immediately we got a university initiated a program called Eminent Scholar Program. And to that program, we actually invited Dr. Subhash Chauhan here, and he stayed here for at least 5 days and delivered different lectures. And after immediately he actually went, and the GIAN program actually advertised by the MHRD. And immediately I called Subhash and Dr. Murali and contacted them, and they readily agreed this program to conduct this type of program. And we submitted 2 programs to the grant. One is with Dr. Subhash and one is with Dr. Murali. And but only one program is actually funded, and that is with Murali, and it is actually funded in 2019. And due to the COVID, we are actually delayed almost 2 years. And many times university people are actually calling me, the fund is there, the money is there, and we have to do the auditing, and you have to immediately conduct the program. And but a lot of delay happened, and we are changed the dates in different time periods. And finally, it is actually happened today. And I am very fortunate that Dr. Murali is here to deliver his expertise to our students and the different students from all over Kerala, and my MSc students and PhD students. I am very happy, Murali, for your presence here. And thank you, and we are looking for the future collaboration, and already you suggested that we can do the Zoom meeting. And if your MSc students are very much interested, you can actually talk to him, and he is readily available, and anytime he will be available for us. And that's a long-time collaboration we are planning to do with the Department of Zoology. And we cherish your days here. Thank you, Murali. And I also thank G.M. Nair sir, and sir mentioned that in all our program, sir is here in KS program or any type of program we are conducting. And thank you, sir, for your support and constant inspiration. And I also thank Professor Gopchandran sir, and he is a syndicate member. He is very much busy today, and he are actually attended 2 different programs, and I requested many time, and that's why he came here and spent like half an hour with us. And with his support, I got a lot of support from him as a syndicate member, and thank you for his kind words and participate in our program. Thank you. And I also thank Dr. Hubert Joe. And when I like started this program, I thought that almost all the program we are actually collaborating with, sometime with the KBS or Association of British Scholars, and that interaction is there. And this program I mooted here, and I thought that why we can collaborate with Nano, because this is the unique department is there, and a long time that is a new department, and the constant interaction is needed with Department of Zoology. The collaboration is very much needed for like multidisciplinary purpose, and that's why I immediately contacted Dr. Hubert Joe, and he readily agreed for the collaboration. And he came to our department and introduced one of his PhD student to join the program. The next day itself, he actually paid the amount and joined the program. And both of you are your presence will be happy for that. Thank you, sir, for your kind support. And I also thank Professor Dr. G. Prasad, and all the program he is actually spearheading, and I'm just doing that, and that's why he had a lot of program was today, and he told me that he will come for morning. He has some personal issues is there, that's why he couldn't come the morning session. And I thank sir for your support, constant encouragement, and thank you all. And I also thank one of the personality, and Professor Sabu Thomas, and he called